Yeah, you're good.
Richie Hoskins is here. We good?
Yeah.
Richie Hoskins, class of 2021, Lake Forest High School, now at Vanderbilt football.
All right. Do it one more time just so we have two of them.
Richie Hoskins, class of 2021, Lake Forest High School, now at Vanderbilt University playing football.
Perfect. All right. So, first question for you. Who was a player from the area or the state that you looked up to when they were in high school? And then, if no one comes to mind, how about someone from the collegiate or professional level?
I don't know if anybody comes to mind from the area just because I didn't really want to fangirl over anybody my age, but somebody like my entire life that I watch this guy's highlights probably like once or twice a week. Tyrann Mathieu, who's at LSU, played safety. Man, like it was just everything about his game, like his physicality, more so than anything, but also like his confidence in himself that I appreciated and just absolutely loved and tried to tailor my game into that sort of thing. Even though, I mean, obviously I'm playing offense now, but in high school I was playing safety and corner a good bit. And then quarterback, but still at the same time, it's just his mentality that I love. The honey badger, they call him, and I love that. So
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, that guy was a beast. I mean, he's still in the league, I think, right?
yeah,
Hanging
he's
around.
still tearing it up, still tearing it up.
Yeah, he was awesome. He was electric back in the day. So, you're playing football now at Vanderbilt, but what was that recruitment process like for you? Because coming out of high school, you were looking to play, and you did both football and lacrosse.
Yeah, I was definitely a little weird. So as like a 21 grad, it was my year that took like the like blunt end of the COVID stuff. So that made things obviously a little more difficult. It was hard to get around and go visit places. But at the end of the day, Middlebury was one of the first schools that had showed me love to not only play football but also play lacrosse. They actually originally recruited me to play lacrosse and then eventually football, but um, to me through COVID, I mean, I knew it was a great school, and I said, this is not really an opportunity that I want to pass up at this time. So I decided that going to a great school and getting to play two of the sports that I love was awesome. But as time progressed, I realized there maybe was something more for me. This isn't where I'm supposed to be. I decided like, hey, I want to bet on myself. I want to bank on myself, and I'm going to go take a shot at something bigger and focus on football now. And that's kind of when Vanderbilt came along, I guess. Like I originally, like I reached out, I went through that whole process. I walked on originally, like that was how I did it. So it was a very like, I guess, niche situation. Just going from D3 to the SEC. Definitely a difficult transition, but as far as like the recruitment process goes from Middlebury to Vanderbilt, it was very like, this is what I want to do. I want to go to Vanderbilt and I want to play ball. So that's what I did and bet on myself, and here we are.
How'd you kind of figure out like you wanted to go to Vanderbilt specifically? Because it sounds like, you kind of had your mindset on where you wanted to go.
Yeah. The first thing was like, to me, I didn't want to sacrifice any sort of like educational opportunities. That was something that was really important to me. And Vanderbilt obviously is one of the greatest places for me to continue my academic career. Um, but also, it was something about the ability to play in the SEC and against the best teams in the country every week, and that was something I knew was going to be challenging. And not only would I be playing against the best teams, I'd also be competing with some of the best in on the practice field, in the weight room and that sort of thing. And I knew that was something that would, help me get out of my comfort zone initially, and still keeps me out of my comfort zone. And that's what I love about it. And I'm always getting pushed. And I knew that Vanderbilt would be the perfect place for me in terms of football and academics for that reason.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it just means more in the SEC. But so you played both lacrosse and football in high school, and then you did for a year in college. So what kind of lessons did you learn from being a two-sport athlete?
Yeah, one of the things, that I took away obviously from playing two sports is just it's like you got to take care of your body, but also you got to be able to manage your time, because that was definitely one of my biggest struggles. Both of those were two of my biggest struggles, through high school and into college. Like I guess one of the things though that ended up being super helpful for me was just this idea that like, and I'm sure you've heard this before, like football and lacrosse are two entirely different levels of conditioning. you do two different things. Football on one hand is very like short burst, explosive, powerful movements. Lacrosse, you're just running the whole time. And so it was that aspect of cross training that I benefited from the most. And, I like to say and I like to think that I can run endlessly now because of my conditioning that I gained through lacrosse. And I know that has been playing out since I got to Vanderbilt on the football field as well. And it ends up giving me an edge in many situations. And that's what I loved about, being able to play those two sports for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a basketball coach actually at Mundelein, and we really preach about playing multiple sports just because, maybe not on paper it doesn't look like it translates, but there's so much that, cross, like you're talking about, whether it's conditioning or whatnot. But yeah, that's awesome. So now in both sports, I know it's not really like football is not really like a matchup sport, your offense, defense, but it's not like one on one really for the most part. But who would you say was like the toughest matchup in both either lacrosse and football for you on the field? It could be a teammate as well.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go with football first because there's one that comes to mind immediately. My sophomore year, we went pretty deep into the playoffs. I was playing corner. I had been called up like later in the season. I was a sophomore, and we were playing Phillips Academy at Phillips Academy in the city. And I don't know if you've heard of him, but Jaleel Billingsley, he played at Alabama and transferred to Texas. This kid was so like freakishly athletic, and it was like the most impressive thing. And they put him in the Wildcat. Like the second half of the game, he was in the Wildcat, took over the game entirely. He's like 6'4", 215, 225 pounds, like massive kid. And I was 160 pounds at the time, and that was definitely my most difficult matchup. And I also played against the Sanborn brothers. I think Brian is still at Wisconsin, but I know Jack's on the Bears right now. That was another we play like Zurich every year, and that was always like the matchup. Those are the two we were gonna have to deal with. So yeah, but those were definitely some difficult. I'm thinking back on this, like Jaleel Billingsley rung my bell so many times in that game. Like I still can barely even think straight from that. Lacrosse. Who have I played against? Lacrosse is tougher because it's growing. Man, I played against some good players. I guess I'll just think about who I want to give a shout out to. Huh.
Yeah, they don't have to
I don't
be
know.
they don't have to be famous. You could just shout out whoever you want. I mean, like you're saying, it's a growing sport, but yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know an answer to that one. That's tough.
Okay.
Lacrosse is difficult.
Yeah, that's fair. So now focusing more on football, which high school would you say, and you can say your own, had the best Friday Night Lights student section?
Okay, well, we definitely had the best Friday Night Lights, but I'll give second because this is the one, that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Stevenson definitely had the best student section that I've ever played at in high school. I mean, it's fine. We shut them out, beat them 28-0, no big deal. But it was still a great experience, obviously. And they were rowdy too. Like they were, like they chirp you, they'll come after you, And I honestly, obviously, I feed off of that. So it was always a good time playing at Stevenson.
Yeah, it's kind of painful to give Stevenson credit for anything.
Right?
And
Isn't
like
that
and it's
tough?
like I mean the fact they got 4,000 kids, like I mean
It's
it's
like
not hard.
cheating. It's like
Yeah,
cheating.
exactly. It's not
Yeah.
hard to fill up a student section, but I agree from basketball standpoint and football standpoint, they always show out, which,
Yeah.
credit to them. So
Yeah.
I gotcha. All right, what would you say is your favorite memory from football? Could be a specific play or could be a game itself.
Oh, there's so many because there's so many rivalries that, I mean, you know how it goes. I mean, from Libertyville to I'm not even allowed to say Libertyville out loud. My high school coach would lose it on me right now. Um, yeah, I guess my favorite moment, we came back on Stevenson my junior year. We were down 3 touchdowns, I think, in the fourth quarter. We came back and won that game in with 8 minutes left in the game. That was Like to this day, I think about it all the time. And actually, in a couple of weeks, we play against Kai Kroger, who is a punter at South Carolina. We play against him. He was the receiver that I'd thrown the game-winning touchdown pass to, which is just crazy. Like how I'm going to play this kid in a couple of weeks. I just love it. But that was definitely one of my. I guess that's for my favorite memory for sure. For my earliest memory of like a play, I would say my sophomore year was my first game playing on varsity. I was playing corner, and I took like a 90-yard interception to the house. Got called back for holding. My
Oh, that's
my
tough.
first game. It was absolutely devastating. But that was definitely my earliest memory of a big play. And oh, there's so many good memories. I'm gonna like go to sleep all nostalgic tonight because thinking about all this stuff.
Yeah, it's all, plays you didn't think about during this. They're going to come back to, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
It unlocks like a whole memory.
Now you got me thinking about the state championship in lacrosse my senior year against Loyola. Lost 11-8. I might cry myself to sleep now.
Oh, no. Hey, they got one this year, though, right?
We did. We got him. We got him.
There we go. Yeah. So they got one for you. But yeah,
Yeah.
that hurts. Okay. How about your jersey number? Did your jersey number in high school have any meaning to you?
Yeah, I was number 5 in high school, and that means it's one of the more meaningful things to me. Honestly, my entire life. Like, I'm actually the fifth of my name. I'm Richard Allen Hoskins the fifth, and my dad's the fourth, grandpa's the third, and so on. So I wore 5 for that reason. I still wear 5 for that reason. Um, Definitely has meaning for me, and something that I'm very proud of. So
Yeah, it's pretty cool that you're the fifth. You got number five. Did you have to fight for that number or you kind of just got it?
it took a couple years. Definitely took a couple years. I was 33 my first year at Vanderbilt, 15 my second. This is my third, so 5 now, finally.
Got it. That's huge. All right. Did you have a favorite football drill during practice? And why was it so memorable if you did?
I absolutely loved board drill. I mean, I was a quarterback for most of my career in high school, but it didn't matter to me. I was still participating in board drill because, like, it wasn't even the idea of the actual drill itself. It was just how jacked up everybody got to do board drill. I mean, it's the beginning of practice and you just go get to smack somebody in the face. Like, how could you not? I mean, that's why you play ball. You know what I mean? So, yeah, board drill was definitely my favorite. And we can't do it anymore because of all the concussion stuff. But back when I was playing in high school, it was still, I think, allowed.
So was it as simple as literally you'd just be, hitting each other?
Yes, you sit on you. It's actually a crazy concept, but you sit on a board. There'll be one guy on this end of the board and one guy on the other end of the board, and on the snap, smack heads try to push each other off the board.
That's a football guy drill right there. And yeah, like I understand the concussion part, but like when you think football, that's the type of drills like
At the
I
end
didn't
of the
play
day,
football. Yeah, I would expect to be happening at practice.
yeah, you better be loving board drill if you're gonna play football. Let's just put it that way.
That's awesome. So did you have any superstitions or pregame rituals as a high school?
I'm pretty sure for every game, I know of my senior year, but I'm pretty sure of my junior year as well. I had the same sandwich from the same restaurant every single Friday. So chicken bacon ranch from Ferentino's. Every time I go home, I go back. I get that or rigatoni vodka sauce. That's it, done deal. But chicken bacon ranch before every single game. Not sure if it was the healthiest choice, but at the end of the day, I just need the calories. So and it tasted good. But once I started, it was like, wait, I don't really want to stop doing this because this is good stuff. We're winning.
Yeah, you got to stick with it. I feel like they got to name that after you. If you, I mean, you're right. They're getting it every pregame.
Oh gosh. Yeah, maybe I'll walk in there and let them know it's time
Yeah,
to change
slap
up
your
the
name.
name.
Yeah, slap your name on it. That's great. So, okay, the guys in the office, I think they played football for like freshman, sophomore year. Not sure if they played beyond that, but they were talking about your coach. And I don't know anything about him, but from what they were saying, this guy sounds like an all-time football coach, and he's been there for a long time now. So do you have any memorable sayings or stories that you can tell about your coach from your high school days?
Ooh. First of all, he's the man. All my coaches throughout high school, I talked to him. Like, one of my coaches called me the other night. Our offensive line coach, Coach Sopers, called me the other night. We had just played Bama, but he had called me. I mean, it was like, it's stuff like that. Like, they're just great people, great coaches, obviously, huge football guys too. Stories. Oh gosh, I don't know about stories because we get into some gray area there for sure. I can, without a doubt, tell you that something that has stuck with me. Do I have my wallet? Yeah, I do. So there's a term that's still used now and has been being used since I think the beginning of Coach Spagnoli's like time as head coach. It's called Scout Pride. It's on every single shirt. Um, we say it at every single huddle break. It is like the center of the program, essentially. Just it's like the symbolism, or it's the words basically say like have pride in everything you do. You represent this school, you represent this town. Be prideful of that. Be proud of what you accomplish and that sort of thing. But the best part about it is the thing that comes with it. And if you ask, I would guarantee that almost any Lake Forest High School football graduate, I almost guarantee you they have this. You can ask them. This is a chip that you get at the beginning of your like high school career of like at Lake Forest football. It's a poker chip, Scout Pride, with a helmet on the back. And this is basically like you carry this around. This is your like token of, your Scout Pride. Like you carry that. This is like our program. It's another, unity, togetherness, that sort of thing. All the buzzwords, but it's something that I still, and look at this. I literally have this picture up right here from high school. It's my offensive line. Yeah, but I mean, all those guys have this chip on them right now. It's a thing that the whole community loves and surrounds. And we're all so passionate and prideful, So Scout Pride is essentially, that would be my catchphrase for you, or his catchphrase.
Yeah, I mean, everyone likes to talk about culture. It's kind of like a buzzword now, but like based on that, like there sounds like Forest football's got like a true culture. And I was looking, up more about him, and he's been there what almost 20 years now, or yeah, at almost 20 years. So I mean, he's built something over there at Lake Forest.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, last question for you, and it's a simple one, but it could be a thoughtful one because you don't know which way to go. But who is the who is the greatest athlete to come out of Lake Forest High School?
Mm. Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna say it. My dad. My dad's Lake Forest High School grad, class of '92, and I'm gonna say it, whether I mean it or not. Hopefully, he sees this. No, I'm just kidding. I mean it. My dad's the greatest. He's the GOAT, Lake Forest GOAT. If it isn't him, man, there are so many good athletes who came out of Lake Forest. I guess I'll give you my favorite athlete,
Okay.
Mac Uline. He played inside linebacker with us. I just love watching that kid play. He was one of my good friends and teammates throughout high school. He's at Northwestern now. Just total stud. Takes kids' heads off. If you go online, look up Mac Uline versus Stevenson, and you will get a very good kick out of that clip because it is one of the biggest hits you'll ever see in your life. And I know how you probably feel about Stevenson. So, yeah, he could be the GOAT too, but he's
I'll have
definitely
to
my favorite.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out that highlight. And I'm guessing your dad played football.
Yep, football.
Did he play after high school
Yeah, he
or
went on to play at Drake University in Iowa.
okay,
Yeah, yeah,
gotcha.
wide receiver.
Wow. So the
Yeah,
Lake Forest ties run deep, huh?
they do. They do. Very deep.
S-
Hopefully, I send my kids there one day.
yeah, it's just a pipeline, huh? The
That's
sixth.
right. That's right.
All right, awesome. I'm gonna stop recording now.